and this goes for a TikTok ad as well, you want to use the 4Rs framework to create video ads for the cold audience, people that have, again, no idea who you are. They may not know that they even have the problem that you solve. And this is the framework that you want to use. Relate, rile, reveal, release. Back to the board! Okay, so relate, rile, reveal, release. So essentially, this is a derivative in some ways of problem-solution advertising. This is basically how we're going to script our videos, but you can also look at it as a basic structure. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how we've made high-converting Facebook and Instagram advertising video ads, specifically using the 4Rs framework. But it is a structure that you can bring to any platform where the audience does not know who you are, what you do, they have no relationship with your brand, and you've done the problem-solution framework, and you're trying to figure out how to actually do this thing. So the first thing that you do is relate. So my book is called Producing Empathy because I really believe that the reason why anybody clicks anything, buys anything, watches anything is because of empathy, like because they emotionally identify with it. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to emotionally identify with the problem. So you're going to see a lot of my videos that are directly to a cold audience, calling out the problem right at the beginning, but not just the problem, like my water filter doesn't work or something. Like it needs to be emotional. Like that's why it's empathy and not just identification. It's an emotional resonance. I'm frustrated, right? People thought like we're emotional beings. So all of our work in advertising, social media, all this stuff, as marketers, it's here, not here. Like we need to get to their heart, not to their head. Their head might put them over the fence to be able to actually buy the product or service, but it's going to be their heart that gets them into the funnel. And if they're not in the funnel, it's game over, okay? So we need to speak to their emotions. And we don't do that by talking down to them. We do that by talking laterally. Empathy, okay? And that's where rile comes in, because we may state the problem from emotional identification, but then we need to stir it up emotionally. So it's not just simply, I found out that there was bad stuff in my water, and that sucked. It's like, I found out there was bad stuff in my water, and I was really nervous and afraid that my kids were going to get sick, and I was actually being a bad dad or mom, doing a disservice to them by feeding them water that could have had lead in it. So now I'm riling it up, right? A lot of what we're doing in here is very much, it's like a strength training, right? We're contracting the muscles and getting ready for them to release. We're riling it up. That is the reveal, when we reveal the product or service, because this is cold audience marketing. So they don't know necessarily that they have the problem or solution or etc. They don't know much about you. So you relate rile first, then you reveal. How many ads do you see that are just basically like, I got this thing, it's cool, it does these 4 things, and you can buy it. That's essentially every ad I see on Instagram. But there's a reason that doesn't work, because they're not meeting people where they are. That's reveal, and then release is where we take all the emotion that we've riled up and the relatability and the problem, and we just, right? Like we just take all the contracting, like I'm so frustrated, I couldn't solve this problem, I'm worried about my children. How many of you are parents, right? Is anybody worried that there could be lead in their water after I told you this? Like you might do some research, right? But this is legit. Like this client of mine started this company because it wasn't even going to be a company. He built these for Flint, Michigan because of their water crisis, and it was such a great idea. He's a chemist, PhD chemist. He turned it into a company. He was really successful, but you didn't even know you had this problem. It's scary. So now we get to all of you that said you were probably a little bit scared. Then I release that, but it's an emotional release. Heads it up in the rile stage. I'm confused. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I'm scared. I release it emotionally by being comfortable, at peace. I feel like I'm doing everything I can as a mother or father, because that is the benefit and outcome. And ultimately, you've probably heard other people say, in advertising at least, because we're doing so much direct response selling, the best thing you can possibly do is talk about benefits and outcomes, not features. Nobody cares necessarily off the bat that I can install this in 15 minutes, because you haven't really told me the benefit and outcome. It's like I always say this, like, do you want more money?
Yeah.
You do? Yeah, you do. I don't think you do. What you really want is the feeling you have when you have more money. right? You want the freedom, the abundance. I can go anywhere, do anything, I'm limitless, right? It's not the money, it's the feeling. And that's what we're releasing.